Hey guys, this is Joy and welcome back to my channel for another video kung saan mag-share ulit tayo ng ways for you to earn kahit nasa bahay ka lang. Madaming nagtatanong kung ano daw ba ang virtual assistant or kung ano daw ba ang ginagawa ng isang virtual assistant na katulad ko. Others may already have ideas, it's just that they don't know how they can start or minsan nalilito sila kung anong niche, service, or skills yung i-offer nila sa kanilang client. Pag-usapan natin lahat ng yan sa video ito. First, let's learn what is a virtual assistant. Next, what are the things that you need to do to become a virtual assistant? And last, what are the services that you can offer for your clients? Now, if you're someone who wants to become a VA, you want to have more time to your family, you want to transition from corporate, and last, you want to earn extra income, then this video is for you, so keep on watching. What is a virtual assistant? So let's give it a simple explanation na lang. When we say VA, this is someone na nag-work sa isang client remotely and all of your tasks and works are done through your computers. Imagine sa isang business or yung mga business owners, kailangan nila ng assistant or personal assistant na gagawa ng ibang bagay para sa kanila. That's exactly what a virtual assistant is doing. It's just that yung pinagkaiba is you're not going sa office para mag-report and you're just going to work remotely. Who are hiring virtual assistant? First, we have international clients. So, yung mga clients mo coming from, sa ibang bansa, and they're looking for VAs na makakatulong sa kanilang business. Next, it's not only, mga international clients na nangailangan ng VA. Even dito sa ating bansa, mga local clients, they are also looking for VAs. Kasi sometimes, masyado ng overloaded yung mga ginagawa nila. So, they need someone who can help them. Now, who are hiring or what is the reason na nag-hire ang isang owner or entrepreneur ng isang VA? First, alam nila yung gagawin. It's just that, they don't have time. Kasi sabi ko nga, sa dami ng ginagawa nila, hindi na nila masingit yung mga dapat nilang gawin, even though simple task. Next is, they don't know what to do. That's why they are hiring someone. For example, yung business mo, you need to have your online presence. It's just that you don't know how to make your website. So, yung isang business owner, kailangan nila mag-hire ng someone who can do it for them because they don't know how to do it. So, they are asking or looking or nag-hire sila ng someone who can do it for them. Next is, ayun na nga, wala silang time. So, they are delegating their task sa isang VA. They're providing the instructions kung meron ba silang tools or platforms na ginagamit or system na ginagamit nila so that yun yung gagawin ng isang virtual assistant. Don't worry because, even if it's just your first time, once you have your first client, of course, they're going to explain kung ano nga ba yung gagawin mo as a VA. What are the things that you need to become a virtual assistant? Ito sasabihin ko sa inyo. First, you need to have hard work, perseverance, patience, and consistency. Baka isipin nyo napaka-generic or basic lang naman pala nung kailangan. Because it's never easy to learn something on your own. Diba, super avail tayo ng mga tutorials sa YouTube, kung ano yung mga knowledge na kailangan natin. And minsan, it's very overwhelming or minsan nababurnout tayo kasi ang dami-daming information tayong nakukuha. And sometimes, madami, it's really scattered na alam mo na yung gagawin, it's just that paano ka magsisimula? 'Di ba? Kasi wala kang flow or wala kang process na sinusundan. Sometimes, it's really hard to invest. 'Di ba nakikita nyo yung iba nag-offer sila ng magti-train or yung mga kailangan yung gawin para maging isang VA. It's just that ang hirap mag-invest or bumitaw ng pera kasi the reason why we are looking for clients or we are looking for work is because wala tayong budget. And sometimes may budget naman, it's just that nauubos sa mga kailangan natin, most especially kapag pamilyadong tao ka, sa pagkain, sa pang tuition and everything. So minsan kahit meron naman talaga, hirap tayong bumitaw para sa knowledge na pwede nating mag-gain. Ito kasi sabihin ko sa inyo, napakalaking tulong nung panonood ng tutorial sa YouTube kasi madami ka naman talaga matututunan. It's just that the difference is iba pa din kapag kayong may magtuturo sa iyo personally, or sometimes makukuha mo lahat yung information kasi may susundan kang flow or alam mo kung nasa na yung takbo nung ginagawa mo. Unlike na kapag nag-aaral ka ng sarili mo, talagang ang dami-dami mong iisipin kung paano ka magsisimula. And then, the end is, minsan magpo-pause ka or aayaw ka. So, that's the difference naman. And, another thing that you need to have is, you need to have your computer or laptop. Siguro magtatanong kayo kung pwede ba yung cellphone. Well, pwede naman kasi may mga naririnig naman ako na ginagamit nila yung cellphone. But ako kasi simula nung una, I've been using my computer or laptop kasi ang hirap kasi talaga mag-work ng cellphone lang ang gamit. Kasi bukod sa maliit yung screen, ang hirap magpalit-palit ng mga tabs. Next, you need to have your internet. And if possible, meron kayong backup internet. Kasi, minsan, may mga client na okay lang naman kung halimbawa, mag-pause ka kasi suddenly nawalan ka ng internet or nawalan kayo ng kuryente, that's fine. Ako, one time nangyari na nawalan ako ng internet, as in, hindi ako nakapag-work ng, it's like, Friday na siya, nawalan ako ng internet. And then, nag-message ako sa client ko, sabi ko, pasensya na, I cannot work kasi nawalan kami ng internet. Sabi niya, it's okay. And then, Saturday kasi nagsisend siya ng payment. And then, nagulat ako kasi yung bayad niya is, it's still for the whole week. Sabi ko sa kanya, sobrang nabayad mo. Sabi ko, i-refund ko na lang yung one day kasi hindi ako nakapag-work kahapon. Baka sobrang naibigay mo. Or, mag-work na lang ako this Saturday para kumapunan yung payment na naisend mo sa akin ng sobra. And nakakatuwa lang kasi sobrang bait ng client ko na sabi niya, no, it's on me, sabi niya. So, 4 days lang ako nag-work, but binayaran niya pa din is for 5 days. So, yun yung kagandahan ng kapag, ayun, mabait yung client mo. At saka, pag open ka sa client mo, ayun, maiintindihan naman talaga nila. So, ayan, swerte talaga natin kung ganun yung client na makukuha natin. Next is, you need to have your headset. Hindi naman siya masyadong kailangan. If it's non-voice, yung mga task na gagawin mo. Kasi sometimes, kung mga voice task yung gagawin, then talagang kailangan mo ng headset. Pero kung, let's say, mga administrative tasks or mga typing, or gumagawa ka ng mga graphics, I don't think na kailangan mo pa ng headset. Siguro kung mag-onboard ka ng client, yes, you need a headset. Pero siguro pwede na din yung cellphone. Kasi ako nakikipag-meeting din ako sa client kapag, pagka gusto ko lang sa cellphone. Or minsan, nakakatamad na, mag-open ulit ako ng computer. Lalo na minsan kung medyo nalilate ako. So, pwede din naman ng computer. Yung mga non-voice na tasks, pwede naman kato lang headset. And next, this is very important. You need to have your market. When I say market, isipin mo kung sino ba yung client na tutulungan mo or i-offer mo yung service mo. And it's very important also to understand kung ano ba yung skills na i-offer mo or pipiliin mo yung specific niche na gagawin mo para sa isang client. Kasi, di ba, paano ka mag-offer ng service or ng help sa isang client where in the first place na hindi mo alam kung ano yung ina-offer mo. It's just like, nagtitinda ka na hindi mo alam kung paano ibenta yung dala-dala mo. So, it's just like that. Kasi, ako kadalasan nakikita ko, yung most special din sa mga nagsa-start pa lang or beginners, ginagamit nila is General Virtual Assistant. Ginamit ko din to dati, General Virtual Assistant, kasi hindi ko pa maintindihan or hindi ko alam ang niche or specific niche na talagang i-offer ko kay client. It's just that, along the way na nagpo-provide ka ng service kay client mo, saka mo na lang maintindihan na, ito pala yung mas gusto kong ibigay kay client. So, it's very important na bago ka mag-offer ng service, alamin mo kung ano yung market mo or kung sino yung client na pag-o-offeran mo ng service mo at ano ang skills na i-offer mo sa iyong client. So, yun yung mga bagay na kailangan mo as a VA. Hindi naman, it's not really necessary na alam mo lahat ng bagay kasi, it will take you time. Sabihin ko sa inyo, ako, nag-aral ako ng mga bagay na alam kong mahirap. I even use yung mga Adobe na, kasi gusto ko din ng mga gumagawa ng mga graphics design. But, talagang uubusin ka, kainin yung oras mo. So, better na din minsan na pag-aralan mo yung mga bagay habang nag-work ka kay client. Kasi, habang nag-work ka kay client, yung benefit is that natututunan mo yung maraming bagay, may nakukuha kang ibang knowledge, at the same time kumikita ka. Yun ang important. Isang halaga. And another one is, magtatanong kayo kung importante ba yung portfolio. Sabihin ko sa inyo na yung portfolio is, an advantage sa isang VA kasi it's like, showcase mo kung ano yung kakayahan na pwede mong maibigay sa isang client. But, let me tell you this na hindi sa lahat ng bagay kailangan ng portfolio. Yung portfolio kasi para siyang compilation ng lahat ng skills mo, kung may mga nagawa ka ng task sa isang client. So, yun yung maipapakita mo sa iyong portfolio. Tatanungin mo na, paano ko magkakaroon ng portfolio? Isa nga akong beginner or wala nga akong experience. Ito yung sinasabi ko, hindi sa lahat ng bagay nangihingi ang kliyente mo ng portfolio. Even nag-onboard ako ng nakailang clients na ako without me offering yung portfolio ko. Yung iba is, if they're going to ask, then magpapakita ka ng mga sample task mo. If not naman, it's okay. Hindi, sabihin ko sa inyo na, yung iba kasi masyado na ko curious na kailangan nila ng portfolio, paano ko gagawin ng portfolio. Ganun din ako, nung first time ko, na masyado akong nag-iisip kung ano ba yung dapat kong gawin. But, kapag ka nakuha mo yung tamang process, pag nakuha mo yung tamang ang dapat gawin, and most especially, maging consistent ka, yun yung, hindi mo na kailangan yung portfolio. All you need to do is, makipag-usap sa client mo, sabihin kung ano yung kaya mong gawin, and paano mo matutulungan yung client mo. What are the services that you need to offer to your clients? Yung iba kasi nalilito, hindi nila alam na, kasi ang dami-dami, hindi ko alam kung anong service yung ibibigay nila sa kanilang client. Well, let me tell you this, there are tens of hundreds of services na pwede mong i-offer sa iyong client. And, I have listed some of the services. Yung iba dito ginagawa ko na din. And, first, yung data entry. Yung data entry, isa to sa, siguro pwede kong ma-recommend dun sa mga newbie or dun sa mga nagsisimula pa lang. Kasi, all you have to do, minsan talagang magta-type ka, mag-enter ka ng mga information sa Excel or sa system ni client. Minsan naman yung gagawin mo is magka-copy-paste ka ng from one system to another system, and you just have to follow yung instruction ni client sa'yo. Next, bookkeeping. I haven't tried this, but I know someone na gumagawa nito. Yung ginagawa naman nila is sila yung nagki-keep track ng records, mga financial transactions ni client, yung mga expenses, and sometimes they also do the financial reports. Next is cold calling. Yung cold calling naman yung ginagawa nila is sila yung tumatawag dun sa mga leads ni client. Yung cold calling, based on my experience kasi, it's, first, yung client mo is, they already have the lead. So, yung gagawin mo is, ikaw na lang yung tatawag. Tatawagan mo na lang yung mga tao. For example, your client is offering service, then tatawagan mo. And as you're going to ask is, if, interested ba sila, or you just need to gather information. Yung iba naman is, they really don't have the leads. So, minsan, yung mahirap is, ikaw na yung kukuha ng leads, at the same time, ikaw pa yung magko-cold call. So, yun yung mahirap. Another one is website design. Yung website design naman is, I've actually tried it myself. Yung una talaga is medyo mahirap siya kasi, as a beginner, sabi ko sa inyo, nagsimula din ako mag-avail ng mga free tutorials sa YouTube. And talagang minsan scattered yung information. But I'm glad na I've tried na mag-website design on my own. I even have this client, this client sabi niya, gumawa daw ako ng, or try ko daw mag-design or i-update yung design ng kanilang website. Ayan. So, yung gagawin naman dito is, ikaw yung mag-design or mag-layout ng kanilang website. Diba may mga website yung mga business owners. So, parang ganun yung gagawin mo. Next, another offer that you can provide is appointment setting. Ito naman, parang part siya nung cold calling. Yung cold calling is, minsan kukuha ka lang ng mga information. And, kapag appointment setting naman, kailangan mong iset yung appointment for your client. For example, kasi yung services na napag-workan ko na dati as a cold caller is sa real estate, merchant company, insurance company. So, yung ginagawa ko is, iset ko yung appointment. For example, yung client ko is naghahanap siya ng mga buyers or sellers ng property. So, kailangan ko maghanap ng mga taong interested for it to convert sa sales. Para kapag naset yung appointment, then it's going to be a sale for the client. So, yun yung appointment setting. Next, social media management. Ito, I never imagined as well that, magmamanage ako ng social media accounts ng client ko. Yes, right now, previously, nag-handle ako and right now, I'm also handling social media accounts ng client ko. Well, wala naman talaga akong alam sa social media management. All that I know is that pinagawa nila ako ng caption, ng content, ng graphics, and mag-engage ako sa mga groups, mag-a-answer ng queries, sasagot sa messages. Dati yung gawa ko lang is gagawa lang ng content or graphics. Pinakamadali nga is, yung client ko na gumagawa ng content, gagawa lang ako ng graphics. And, ayun na, within, I think less than an hour tapos ko yung task. Pero, kasi siya nung nagpo-provide. Pero along the way, dinagdagan niya ng task. Ako na gumagawa ng content. Tapos, ako na din yung sumasagot ng mga messages dun sa account, social media account ni client. Kasi social media managing naman is, minsan nahahawakan mo yung Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter account ni client mo. And, yun yung social media management. I can see na hindi naman talaga ako masyadong specialist dito sa field or sa niche na to. It's just that, in-offer ko siya sa client and may natututunan akong bagong mga information. Though, wala naman talaga akong alam dito. Naghanap lang ako dati ng mga free tutorials sa YouTube. And then, parang pinagtagpi-tagpi ko na lang din siya. Next, lead generation. Yung lead generation, eto naman yung ikaw yung maghahanap or mag-a-add ka ng bagong leads or mga tao, target ni client mo. Para may convert nila sa sale. Minsan yung lead generation kasama dyan yung phone number, email address, yung company website. Parang yun yung mga ginagawa ng isang lead gen specialist. Tapos, meron din tayong content marketing. Yung content marketing naman, masasabi ko na, di ba, yung mga business owners, kailangan nila ng social media presence. So, ayun, kaya gumagawa sila ng content. Siguro, masasabi ko na dito papasok yung mga vlogs, yung e-books. Kasi kailangan magpakilala, kailangan i-boost yung online presence ni client kasi dun sila kukuha, dun sila magpapakilala din sa mga target audiences nila or yung mga tao na kailangan nilang pagbentahan. So, ayan. And, ito, payo ko lang din sa mga nagso-start pa lang na if you don't know the service, be honest. Huwag nyo sasabihin kay client na alam nyo ang isang bagay if you don't know. Kasi dun tayo medyo 50-50 tayo dun. If you don't know it, then honestly say it to your client. Kasi if not naman, tutulungan nila kayo. Kasi baka isipin nyo na baka malose ko yung client, baka mula yung client. Kasi pagkatapos namin mag-onboard, sabi ko hindi ko alam. May mga client na nagbibigay ng chance, hindi mo man alam, pero sasabihin nila na, okay, I will give you the instructions na susundin, and then, yun yung gagawin mo. Guys, that's it for our video for today. If you learn, I hope na nagustuhan nyo and you learned something from our video today. If you have some questions, just let me know sa ating comment section and we'll try to cover it sa ating next video. I hope to see you next time.